Hello, dear students. This is NT Suryavanshi. Today we will see one more content from the project management, and the content is resource allocation. What is meant by this resource allocation? It's a method of manpower planning. Dear student, we know that manpower is an important resource and used for execution of the different activities of the project. So it is very essential to use that particular resource, manpower, very effectively. So today we will see the methods of manpower planning, means how to utilize the manpower effectively, what is the actual technique is. So resource allocation, in that there are two ways of uh, manpower planning, and one is resource smoothing technique and second is resource leveling technique. So what is that resource smoothing and resource leveling techniques that we have to see now? So outcome of this today's learning is you will be able to make the manpower distribution uniform every day. By that we can reduce some cost on the manpower wastages. So let us see about the first technique, resource smoothing. So what is meant by the resource smoothing? So in the resource smoothing, the project duration is kept unchanged. Means that critical activities or that path that is kept unchanged. Project duration is a main constant, and the available resources that are plenty, means more in numbers. So we can use the available resources and restricted to the project duration. So limited, we can say the project duration. Constant is the project duration in the resource smoothing technique. Manpower or laborers available that are more in number. But we have the more in number manpower, means there may be the chances of the wastages of the manpower. Hence, we have to use this manpower effectively, and for that purpose, we have to use the available float with that particular activities. We know we have the critical activities of a zero float, and we have the non-critical activities having the float. So the float available of the non-critical activities we have to use intelligently. It means that we have to see the available float and manpower of that requirement of that particular period. Means we have to see that in which period the manpower requirement is more, and we have to see that how that manpower can be reduced. So as I told that we have to use the float intelligently, means we have to shift that particular activity start time or activity finish time, so that you have to remember. So by shifting the activity start or activity finish time, we can shift the manpower requirement, and this is the concept. By that we can make the somewhat or somehow uniform demand every day, and by that we can achieve the more effective force ratio. So there are few concepts that means we have to find out the how effectively the manpower utilized. For that purpose, you need to find out the effective force ratio before using the smoothing technique and after using the smoothing technique. what will be the effective force ratio, that you need to find out. So there is the method that a time scale version diagram you need to draw, or time grid diagram you need to draw to find out the manpower requirement per day. There is also one more method, that method is EST solution method, means earliest start solution method. So by that, using earliest start solution method, also you will able to find out the manpower requirement every day. So we will see that how to use that particular techniques. Now we see here is one example we have taken, and with the help of this example, we will see that how to smoothen the manpower. So that load smoothing or resource smoothing technique, now we have to see with the help of this particular problem. So in the problem, the activities are given, durations and labors required, that is also given. So activity 1 to 2, duration is 3, labor 2. Activity 2 to 3, duration 4, labor 2. Activity 2 to 4, duration 4, labor 4. Activity 3 to 4, duration 4, labor 6. Activity 4 to 5, duration 2, labor 2. Activity 4 to 7, duration 2, labor 4. Activity 5 to 6, duration 3, labor 2. Activity 6 to 7, duration 2, labor 2. So this is the problem, and here you have to do the resource smoothing. So let us see the first step. So first step is that you have to draw the network diagram, and then after that you have to mark the critical path, and after that you have to draw the time scale version diagram to find out that actual manpower requirement per day before the smoothing technique. So before smoothing we will do, and after smoothing also what will be the effective force ratio, that we will find out. Now let us draw the network diagram first. So 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 2 to 4, 3 to 7, 4 to 5, 3 to 7, 3 to 7, 4 to 5, 4 to 7, 5 to 6, 5 to 6, and 6 to 7. So simple network diagram we have. Simple network diagram 6 to 7, 4 to 7, we have to connect like this, 3 to 7. So let us check 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 2 to 4, 3 to 7, 4 to 5, 4 to 7, 5 to 6, and 6 to 7. Yes, now the network diagram is correct from the given data. Now put the duration given for each activity. 1 to 2, 3, 2 to 3, 4, 2 to 4, 4, 3 to 7, 4, then 4 to 5, 2, then 4 to 7, 2, 5 to 6, 3, and 6 to 7, 2. Given duration we have put below the activity. Now carry the forward and backward pass, as you are studying the critical path method, that the process you have to do. So put that early start time 0, early start time 0 plus 3, 3, carry the forward pass and find out the earliest finish time for each activity. So 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 plus 4, 7, sequentially you have to go 2 to 4, 3 plus 4, 7, now 4 to 5, 7 plus 2 9, 5 to 6, 9 plus 3 12, now 6 to 7, 4 to 7 and 3 to 7. Three activities are merging at 7. So while carrying forward fast, as we know, we are taking the maximum duration. So 7 plus 4 11, 7 plus 2 9 and 12 plus 2 14. So 14 is the maximum duration we got. 14 is the maximum duration. Carry the backward pass. 14 minus 2 12. Then 12 minus 3 9. 9 minus 2 7. Right? So at this we have the 9 minus 2 7. 14 minus 2, that is 10. Minimum is taken as we are moving in the backward direction. 7. Now coming to this activity 3 to 7. 14 minus 4, that is 10. 14 minus 4, that is 10. Now 7 minus 4 3. 10 minus 4 6. So minimum, that is 3. So this is what the network we have drawn from the given data. Now mark the critical path. The activities having total float 0, that are the critical activities. So the here activity 1 to 2, I will highlight it by zigzag line. Then 2 to 4, it is also critical. Then 4 to 5, it is also critical. 5 to 6, critical activity, and 6 to 7. Rest of the activities are non-criticals, and that we need to focus when we go for the smoothing or smoothing. Now from this network diagram, you have to draw the time scale version diagram first. Time scale version diagram first, and then we have to see that how to find out the manpower requirement by using time scale version diagram. So how to draw the time scale version diagram, that we will see first. So let us see the time scale version diagram. So total project duration we got that 14 days. So total project duration, that is 14 days. Critical path that we got, critical path we got, that is 1 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6 and 6 to 7. So this is the critical path we got, 1 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 5 and 5 to 6 and 6 to 7. Now in the time scale version diagram is we have to first draw the critical path. Means we require the 14 days. So by choosing the suitable scale, that we have to draw this time scale diagram. Let us draw it. So 14 days we required. 14 days we required, that you have to. Time scale diagram that we have to draw. Time scale diagram. So 14 days we required on this particular x-axis, that you have to remember, because 14 is the project duration. So first 1 to 2 is on a critical path. As I told that you have to mark the critical activities or critical path first. 1 to 2 that requires 3 days. So 1, 2 and 3. So we require this particular 1 to 2 that required 3. So 1, 2 and this is 3. 1, 2 and 3. Right? Then 2 to 3. 2 to 3 require 4 days. So 2 to 3 required 4 days, means 3 plus 4, that is 7. 3 plus 4, that is 7. So 7. That is 2 to 4. 2 to 4. Then 4 to 5 required 2 days. So 7 plus 2, 9. 8 and this is 9. 8 and this is 9. So 2 to 5. That is 4 to 5. Then 5 to 6 required 3 days. This 9, 10, 11 and 12. 10, 11 and 12. So this is 12. 5 to 6. And 6 to 7 required 2 days. It's 13 and 14. 13 and 14. 13 and 14. It is 7. So means we have to first mark the critical path. So required 14 days that we have shown. Right? Now rest of the activities that you have to mark, non-critical activities. Then 2 to 3 required 4 days. 2 to 3 required 4 days. 2 to 3 required 4 days. So 3 plus 4, that is 7. 2 to 3. Then 3 to 7. 3 to 7 requires 4 days. 3 to 7 required 4 days. So 7 plus that 4. That is 11. So it will end on 11. And after that, you have to connect it with that node 7. That is node 7. Right? So 3 to 7 requires only 4 days. 3 to 7 start on 7. 7 plus 4 means it will end on 11. Here it will end. And after that, what is the extra time available with it? You have to connect it with a dotted line to the 7. So 3 to 7 is over. That is non-critical activity. Then the remain, that is 4 to 7. 4 to 7. Right? 4 to 7. So 4 to 7. 4 to 7 required only 2 days. 4 to 7 will require only 2 days. Is 4 starting at 7 and plus 2 is 9. Is it will get complete on this particular 9th day. 4 to 7. So what is the extra time available? That we have shown. We have to connect it to the 7. That is 4 to 7. Right? 4 to 7, 3 to 7, that is over. Right? So this is what the time scale version diagram. Right? So we have the 2 non-critical activities and means 3 to 7 and 4 to 7. But the available time, extra time, that is shown by the dotted. Now that we have to use later on while doing the smoothing. So before smoothing, what will be the manpower requirement, that we will first find out. That how to find out using this time scale version diagram. So here I have to find out these labors or manpower required labors, that I will put here below for each day, or first day, or second day, or third day, or fourth day, for fifth day, for sixth day, for seventh day, for 8th day, for 9th day, for 10th day, for 11th day, for 12th and 13th and 14th. So for 14th, up to 14th, what will be the manpower requirement, that we have to find out first. Right? Now, on the time scale version diagram, that what are the labels given that we have to put. For 1 to 2 labor given that are 2. For 2 to 3 labors given 2. Then 2 to 4 labors given 4. For 3 to 7 labors given 6. For 4 to 5 labors given 2. For 4 to 7 labors given 4. For 5 to 6 labors given 2. And for 6 to 7 labors given 2. Now the given labor requirement we have put on that particular time scale version diagram or time grid diagram. Now we have to find out this labor requirement every day. So for the first day, you have to see on the first day, you have to move in the upward direction where it cuts that labor requirement you have to take. So on the first day we require 2. On the second day move in the upward direction, that is also 2. For third day move in the upward direction, that is also 2. So for first 3 days we required labor 2. Simply you have to move in the direction, upward direction where it cuts that requirement you have to take. Now here from 3 to 7, if you see activity 3 and 4, event 3 and 4 that are ending. So in between that labor requirement is 4 and plus 2 is we have to take the addition of these 2 and 4, 6, right? So for the fourth day 2 plus 4, 6. For fifth day 4 plus 2, 6. For sixth day 4 plus 2, 6. For seventh day 4 plus 2, 6. So the addition of these 2 that you have to take, 4 plus 2. Now go on the eighth day, right? What is the requirement? So go in this direction, upward direction, it cuts 6 plus 2 plus 4. So it's a 12. It's a 6 plus 2, 8. 8 plus 4, that is 12. Then on the ninth day, that is 6 plus 2 plus 4, that is same 12. Now that particular 10th day, move in the direction 6 plus this particular 2, that is 8. Now go in this direction, 11th day, 6 plus 2, that is 8. Then for the 12th day, if you see, on 12th day, only the requirement is 2. And for the rest of the 13th and 14th, only the requirement is 2. Simply you have to move in the upward direction where it cuts, that requirement is to be taken. So this is what the manpower required that we have found out by this particular time scale version diagram. Now what is the initial or effective force ratio actual before smoothing? So before smoothing you have to find out that effective force ratio. It is also known as the initial force ratio before smoothing. So that EFR is found out, that is total labor required upon total labor employed into 100. So it is expressed in percentage. So total labor required that you have to find from this particular demand. And so you can draw the histogram by using this particular labor histogram you can easily draw. So here if you see 2 labors we required for 3 days plus 6 labors we required for 4 days plus 12 labor required for 2 days plus 8 labor required for 2 days plus 2 labor for 3 days. So 6 plus 24 plus 24 plus 16 plus 6. So do the addition. $76. Check it. 24 plus 6, 30. 30 plus 24, 54. 54 plus 16, 70 and 6, 76. So total labor required 76. And how many that we have employed, that we will see. So total labor required 76 upon the total labor employed, that we have employed total labor is maximum labor we have employed 12. If you see from this particular requirement, each requirement, maximum labor we have appointed for this particular small project is equal to 12. So 12 labor for how many days? 14 days into 100. So you have to solve it, the effective force ratio. So you have to solve it. So 76 upon 168 into 100. So 45%, 45.23%. That is the initial force ratio you got. Now very less utilization means very poor utilization of labor is seen to be here. Less than 50% force ratio we got. So we want to strengthen that particular utilization. We want to utilize the manpower or labor effectively, and for that purpose we have to use the technique resource smoothing, where the project durations 14 days will remain unchanged. Means that is the constant to us, right? So this is what the technique. By that we have seen now the how to find out the labor required per day by using the time scale version diagram. How to find out that AFR or initial force ratio is the AFR vapor smoothing. We got 45.23%. Right? As I told that we can draw the histogram also. Means labor required per day. So it's easy to draw that histogram. Right? Then how to draw the histogram? I will show you. So 14 days is the duration. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 and 14. So 14 days is the duration we have to mark on the x-axis, duration in days. And labor required, that we have to plot. So for the first 3 days we require 2 labors. For the first 3 days we require 2 labors. So for the first 3 days we require 2 labors. Maximum we have 12. Right? To take the suitable scale, and we have that particular 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. So 12 is the maximum demand. So for first 3 days, 1, 2, 3, for first days we have 2 labors. So 2 labors for first 3 days. 2 labors we have for first. So here on the y-axis we have the labors. So for first 3 days we have 2 labors. Then for next 4 days we have 6 that labors. We require the 6 labors. 6 labors for next 4 days. 3 plus 4, that is 7. So 6 labors for next 4 days. 2 labors for 3 days. Then on 8th and 9th we require 12. Now for 2 days we have 12. For the 2 days we have 12 for 8th and 9th. For 8th and, that is, we required 12 labor for 2 days. Then 8 labors for 2 days. That is on 10th and 11th. 8 labors. So 8 labors for the next 2 days. 8 labors for next 2 days. Then 2 labors for 3 days. Then for next 3 days, 1, 2 and 3, right? Means on 12th, 13th, on 14th day. We require the only the 2 labors. For next 3 days we require the. So this is what the histogram is, the manpower or labor versus duration we have plot. So you can hatch it like this. Separately, that shows the demand of a particular period. So this is known as the histogram diagram that shows the graphical representation of the labors versus duration. So I think you understood that how to draw the histogram. Now coming to the resource smoothing technique, that as I told earlier, that you have to use the float, available float of a non-critical activities intelligently. Means you can shift the start or end time of the activity, and we can try to make the demand somehow uniform. So maximum demand, earlier we got 12. Now this 12 we have to reduce at its maximum demand. 12 we have to reduce. So how to reduce it? So the only now we have to focus on that particular. We have to focus on the non-critical activities. How the demand can be changed. How the demand can be changed. Supporting that is how it can be changed, that we will see. If you see that the 12 labor you required, we have found it that 2 2 2 for first 3 days, then 6 6 6 for next 4 days, and 12 12 that we already found out it. Then we have 8 8, and we have then 2 2 2. So this is the before demand, before smoothing. We have to now, after smoothing, that we have to plot the or find out the labor requirement every day. So if you see that demand in between this particular 7th to this particular 9th, means on 8th day and 9th day we have 12. Can we reduce that particular 12 labors? And for that we have to see on the start and end of the this particular non-critical activities. Now if you see the 4 to 7, at 4 to 7 requires only 2 days. If we shift the activity 4 to 7, it will require only 2 days. So the demand of this particular 8th and 9th day will be get shifted. So let us do that. Shift this activity 4 to 7. 4 to 7. Let us start on the 12th day, as it requires 2 days. 12 plus 2, that is 14. And demand will be shifted at 4 to the 13th and 14th day. To 13th and 14th day. So what we have done? Only the start time of 4 to 7 is changed. Now it will start on 12th day. It requires only 2 days. So 12 plus 2, 14 day. It will end on a 14th day. So the demand of this particular labor is also shifted in between 13 and 14 day. So that is one change we have made. So the demand will be get shifted. Right? So only one we have done it. Can we shift this particular activity 3 to 7? If we shift it 3 to 7, requires 4 days. Requires 4 days. Requires 4 days. If you shift it ahead, that what will happen? That only the duration is in hand here extra, that is only 3 days, and it requires the 4 days. So if you shift, and it will start on the 10th day, on the 10th day the demand also gets shifted here, and the manpower requirement will be get increase. So 6 plus 2 plus 4, then the 12 will be on these particular days. So we don't want to shift it now. So if you see, the only one activity at 4 to 7 start time we will shift here, and by that we can reduce the manpower or labor requirement in particular these 2 days from 12, we can shift it to 8. Only one activity we have shifted. If we shift this 3 to 7, the manpower demand will be increased. So that I think you understood. Now only activity 4 to 7 shifted here. Shifted. New time, start time, it will start on 12th day. As it requires 2 days only, it will end on 14th day. So manpower requirement also gets shifted on a particular day. Now you find out that particular labor required per day. So we have done the smoothing. Only we have used the float of 4 to 7 wisely or intelligently. Work out. Find out this particular. So if you go move in the first day, the 2 on third day, 2 here, from 2 to 4 or 2 to 3 up to 7th day, we have the 4 plus 2 6, 4 plus 2 6, 4 plus 2 6, 4 plus 2 6. Now 6 plus 2 only 8. Here we have reduced the demand. 6 plus 2 8. 6 plus 2 8. On 11th day, 6 plus 2 8. Right? On 12th we have the 2, and on 13th and 14th 4 plus 2 6 and 6. So like that we have changed the activity start time, and maximum labor required after smoothing we got 8. So maximum labor employed after smoothing is only 8. Before smoothing it was 12. Now this is the smoothing technique. Find out the effective force ratio. So after smoothing EFR is the formula, you know, actual labor required upon total labor employed into 100. So actual labor required you have to find out, that is 2 labors for 3 days, 6 for 4 days, plus 8 for 4 days, and 2 1 day, and 6 for 2 days. So 6 plus 24 plus 32 plus 2 plus 12. So 24 plus 6 30, 30 plus 32 62, 62 plus 2, that is 64, plus 12, that is 76. As earlier we got 76, it never change. 76 upon how many we have got now? 8, maximum 8 for how many days? 14 days into 100. What is the EFR? Work out it. (76) divided by 112 into 100. 67.85. 67.85. By only shifting start time of the activity 4 to 7, the effective force ratio we obtain is 67.85. And earlier, before smoothing, it was 45%. After smoothing, we got about approximately 68%. 68%. So this tells that you have used the technique effectively. Dear students, this is the resource smoothing technique. If you understood it well, and if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you very much.